Ladies and gentlemen, graphic designers, we're going to do part 8 of the collage, the real shadows, and by real shadows, I mean the real fake shadows. So this particular part of it, we're going to do a different thing. This is going to be more of a composite than a collage, but this leads to being able to do the assignment a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to make a, here's Thanos, so we go to our layers. So I have added my Thanos layer. And so, I don't know what this is, I'm going to throw this away. Okay, and so for Thanos, I'm going to add a shadow for him. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drag Thanos over here and make a copy of him, and we're going to press Control and T, and we're going to make him into a reverse image like that, and then we're going to rotate him like this, and we're going to kind of make him, we're going to basically make this duplicate of him like a shadow. We got to get the feet kind of lined up, and we're going to shrink it down a little bit like this. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. If you want to do more, you can hit Enter, and you can go to Image, and you can go to Edit. You can go to Transform. There's all sorts of different ones you can do. You can do like Skew, and you can like mess around with that. That might actually be a little bit better like that. You can hit Enter. Like I said, there's a lot. You can go Edit, Transform, and you can go to like Distort or Perspective or whatever. So they each do like a little bit different thing. So, but anyway, I think this is probably good enough. That doesn't look good. I'm gonna Control Z that. Okay, so we kind of have what looks like it's going to be a pretty decent shadow. Okay, I'm going to go back to like that. Okay, so what we're going to have to do in order to make this a shadow is obviously it needs to be all black and not this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're on the correct layer. We're going to go to the magic wand tool. We're going to select everything like that, and you can see we need to all get rid of this. So we're going to, so let's go like this. So we're going to go select inverse. So we're going to select everything but the background. So now we have Thanos. So now I'm going to, using the magic wand tool, I'm going to press Alt, and I'm going to get rid of that right there. Okay, so we've selected him, and so now we're going to do a mask on that, and it's just going to do, let's just do a solid color, and we'll make it black, and we'll click OK. And we don't need the Thanos anymore, so we can turn that layer off, and we can change the opacity of this until it's kind of see-through. So we want to be able to see the sand through it, something more like that. And what else? I don't know. If you want to, you can mess around with the blending mode and see if like the different blending modes look better. So that obviously doesn't look good. None of these look good. Subtract actually might look pretty good. So you can try those different ones. And so then now that we have that down, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to edit this. So we're going to go to we're going to click on the mask. So we're going to click right there. And then we're going to make sure you flip-flop this to where the black is showing. And we're going to go to the brush tool, and let's see how big we want it. Probably want it a little bit smaller than that. Something like that. Okay, and so you can go through and you can erase out stuff that doesn't look right. So if any of so this kind of looks a little weird. So we're going to get rid of some of that right there. See if we can make it look good. Something like that maybe. Okay, so something like that looks pretty good. Gives them a legit looking shadow. All right, so far so good. So a problem that we can see with this, if the sun is supposed to be here shining on Thanos, this part of his body would be probably a little brighter. Okay, so let's go over here. We're going to go down and make sure we're on the right layer. Okay, so we're going to click on the Thanos layer. Now this is destructive editing. We can't really get this back, so we're changing pixels forever. So you got to make sure you like this if you're going to go ahead and do it. But we're going to go down over here, and we're going to go to the Dodge tool. And we want to play with the highlights. And we can mess around with our brush, make our brush a little bit bigger, something like that. Yep, that looks good. And so we can basically, we'll go like this and we'll brighten up. You can see we're brightening it up, making it look at this like the sun is over on this side. So that does a pretty good job of making it a little bit more realistic that way. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at trying to blend Thanos in a little bit better here with the sand. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in on his feet a little bit. Let's scooch you over here. zoom in. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so Thanos, we don't really have a mask for Thanos, so we're going to have to, actually I need to zoom back out, hold on. Okay, so we're going to need to make a mask for Thanos even though there's really no pixels around him. So we're going to click on this layer, we're going to go to the magic wand tool, we're going to select, we're going to go, so we selected everything but Thanos, we're going to go select inverse, we're going to select Thanos, we're going to click Alt, not select that. Okay, and we're going to make a mask, which is not going to make any difference at the moment, but now we're going to edit that mask. So we're going to click right there to edit the mask. We're going to make sure it's black because we want to delete some stuff. And then we're going to go to our brush tool, and we're going to actually select a brush. So we're going to look through the brushes and find something that's kind of sandy looking. And I think that's kind of sandy looking. So we'll click on that particular brush, and that looks good. I'm going to drag this out of the way. And that's probably about the right size. Let's zoom in and see what happens. So we're going to subtract from Thanos here. Okay, so we're going to go like this. Okay, so you can kind of see how it's making it look like there's like kind of sand. His foot's kind of like sinking in the sand a little bit. Something like that. So I kind of like that. Oh, got it carried away there. All right, so let's hit the hand there and see. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so we figured out we made a shadow. We lightened him to make it look like the sun's coming from here, and we made it seem like he's standing in the sand. You could do the same thing, by the way, with like if somebody was standing in grass. So if somebody was standing in grass, you could go through and you could find like a brush that looks like grass, and so you could make it seem like they're standing in the grass. So on and so forth. All right, very good. That's it for today.